Shut up and sit down.
Hello, and tonight we have got Angel Chi with us, a stand-up comic and who has such a great story. And I just thought, let's get her on and have a chat. Angel, hello.
Hi, Nat. How are you?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. You're looking wonderful. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
You're enjoying this weather, I presume.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
Tell us a bit about yourself, tell us about your comedy and what it is you do.
Okay, so I'm a bit of a eclectic soul. So I do comedy. I've just gone back into doing some comedy. I used to do it in my 30s,
Mhm.
but I found it a little bit difficult in terms of confidence wise because I used to drink back then, and the drink gave me Dutch courage. And when I stopped drinking because I had to, I went on a bit of a healing journey. And so on that healing journey, I then went into becoming a counselor and a coach and a spiritual healer. And I've
Oh,
been doing that since 2012 or something like that.
mm.
And so it's only recently now that I've decided I actually want to go back into comedy because I'm bloody funny.
Ah,
And
hey.
it's also about me just tapping into my creativity.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm doing that as well as a few other creative things. And yeah, so when I started back doing the comedy, I I I I just felt like, oh, I want a big stage. I need a big stage because the little stage didn't it was great, it was cozy, but yeah, that's me and the comedy at the moment. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, that's brilliant though. I mean, obviously going into being doing the spiritual healing and what have you, do you reckon that helped you to just calm your mind back from when you were th in your 30s to just go, hang on a minute, let's just ground myself and let's just take stock of who I am.
Absolutely.
Mm.
I know who I am now,
Mm.
and I do feel more grounded, and the confidence is there.
Yeah.
Don't get that much nerves like I used to, and it just feels more authentic actually. What I say, what I talk about,
Yeah.
and how I relay that. I just tell myself I'm having a conversation with the audience, and it just flows through that like that. Yeah.
Brilliant. So your style of comedy, is it storytelling? Is it storytelling about you, your past, or just observational of what you see of people?
Both,
Ah, right,
both.
okay.
Both.
Okay.
So yes, I do incorporate both of those things. So I do talk about what I observe, things like the differences between dogs and cats and how dogs are very manipulative and
I'll agree with that.
cats are more wise, but they're a bit stush, you know, those sort of things. People, I'm very much a people. I watch people a lot and I
Mm,
observe people. I observe behaviors. So obviously, as a counselor, I've come across a lot of um different stories, and
yeah.
I, talk about the dysfunction of people,
Mm.
and how a therapist would see something as opposed to someone who's not a therapist. And, you
Yeah.
know, I sometimes in my comedy, where I talk about something in a skit and then I say, yeah, I think they need therapy. They need to go to therapy. And I've told them they need to go to therapy. But
So when you see all these observations, I'm really interested in how people record what they're seeing so they don't, because I'm dreadful. Like with my writing, I think that's a brilliant idea, right? I'll remember that. And you never do because life gets in the way. So how do you
mm,
record your stuff? Do you write it down? Do you use your phone?
yes, when something comes to me, oftentimes things come to me in the middle of the night
Yep. Yep.
because I'm going through menopause.
Yeah.
So, it's a time of wisdom, actually. Did you know
Yeah.
that, the
Yeah, no,
menopause?
absolutely. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a time when we channel wisdom. So I will, yeah, so I will type it on my phone, what
Yeah.
comes to me, type it on my phone so that otherwise I would forget it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I'd go back to it and look at it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it doesn't have to be in the middle of the night. Sometimes something just comes to me when I'm just like maybe just doing, maybe just being very still and very quiet, and
Yeah.
I just write it down.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
And then once I've written it down, sorry,
go on, no, go on. Once you've written it down, I'm hoping that you might say, once I've written it down, I look at it a week or so later and go, what the hell is that?
no, no, I don't. I remember why I've written it down. And I put them in certain sort of categories. So
Oh, right.
if it's about men, I might put it in that
Yeah.
category. If it's about the animals, that category or something
Mhm.
else. And I don't use all of the material all the time, but I
Mm.
just pick bits out. And so it's basically more of a prompt.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I type down is a prompt, and then I say, right, okay, that's a prompt, and then I'll remember all the stuff that I want to talk around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then you build, I presume, your little set, what you're gonna do
Hmm.
to the audience. You build it
Yes.
from those sort of prompts, really. Brilliant.
Yes.
That's a really good way of doing it. That really is. I mean, you're much better than me then, because I've tried the one word single prompts and I've just gone, was I actually dreaming when I wrote that? What is it?
Probably.
But yeah, no, I've become more adept at writing more notes quickly, much bigger
Yes.
notes. But
Yeah.
yeah. So getting up on stage like now compared to before, you talked
Hmm.
about you feel far more aware of who you are and settled and less nerves.
Mm.
Do you think that helps you go straight into a routine, whereas before maybe the nerves took over at the beginning of your set? Because I know a lot of comedians talk about once they get that first laugh, that's it, they're off and running.
Mm.
What's
Mm.
that like for you?
It's interesting because I feel like back then I always used to come on to music
Mm,
playing, and then I would do a really saucy dance.
mm.
And people would be like, yeah, 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 because I was um I was heavier than I am now back then.
Mm,
And so to see someone, doing that, and yeah, people loved that.
mm.
And I feel like that kind of helped me
Yeah,
in some way. Now I don't have to do that.
yeah,
Sometimes I will, because
yeah,
it it it, it just kind of gets me in flow.
yeah,
But
yeah,
sometimes I can just walk on and just start talking and rambling about. So oftentimes now I will talk about the fact that I did used to do this before, but
yeah,
I came out of it because of drink, and then I might start talking about the drink
yeah.
situations and how awful I was as a drinker, um, and then start building from there.
Mm. So do you
Mm,
think really though, you look back on that and you think, well, actually, this has given me material, which I never thought at the time it would, you know?
absolutely, it
Yeah,
has given me material,
yeah, yeah,
and I feel like I haven't even um, expanded on that much,
yeah,
because a lot of the times now I'm doing a lot of open mic sessions, and you don't get as much time, so you've
yeah,
got to try and sort of cram as
yeah,
much laughs in as you can. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to being able to, extend my stories and go deeper into them.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Mm,
brilliant. Yeah, yeah, because then you can really go with it then and explore it and then find out what works, what doesn't, and what have you.
yes,
Yeah, I think that,
yes,
that's the trouble with open mics, isn't it? It's great to know that you can just get on with 5 or 10 minutes, but actually when you are in the flow of it, you just, oh, give me a little bit longer, just a little bit, especially when the crowd is really warm to you and
yes,
stuff, it must be really
yes,
difficult then just to come off. But I
yes.
mean, growing up, I mean, who inspired you growing up watching on telly, funny people that you may have seen and thought, I want to have a go at doing that.
Do you know what? Because what I find is comedy is very male dominated.
Yeah, oh
So
God, yeah.
I can't even think of a female comic when I was growing up.
No, no.
I can't.
But this is the
So
reason I asked that question because I think we're probably in the same age bracket. Because I know you've talked about that as part of your routine about being, 50
yeah,
plus and what have you.
yes.
Um, and you're right. It was very male dominated, and the only person, well, the only couple that I could think of would be Victoria Wood, and of
Yes.
course her name's gone out of my head, and she used to work with Victoria Wood.
Oh, Dawn,
Julia, oh God, it's
not
gone out of
Dawn
my head.
French.
Oh, don't
Dawn
you
French?
got Dawn French as well? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but there wasn't a great um Not as many as the male counterparts were.
Absolutely,
Mm,
absolutely. And in
mm.
terms of stand-up comics, when I was growing up, obviously they were American. Richard Pryor,
Yeah,
I thought he was
yes.
amazing.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean, Eddie Murphy,
yeah.
he was great as well.
Yeah,
But
he
I mean,
was
they're kind of,
actually. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
As
So,
stand-up. I think in fact, I prefer him as a stand-up than as an actor, if I'm honest with you.
yes,
I thought he was just brilliant. But
yes.
yeah, so you're right. There wasn't a great amount of people to inspire you, but something must have made you go, yeah, I want to stand up on stage.
Do you know what it was? Um, I've always felt the need to be on stage. I've always felt like in this incarnation, I need to be on the stage. And I actually wanted to be an actress when I was growing up, when
All
I was
right,
younger.
okay.
But that was discouraged because I was a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that would have been a whole set of rules. Yeah,
And so that's also part of my stand-up, being a
yeah.
Jehovah's Witness and what that meant. Yeah. So but that feeling was always there to be an actress, to do something
Yeah.
on the stage. And so it was kind of knocked out of me. But as I got older and I used to obviously go to work and things like that
Mm,
and have friends, and I noticed that I used to make people laugh without even trying.
yeah.
Sometimes I'd even say things that were quite serious and people would still laugh. And I'm like, but that wasn't supposed to be funny. And they're laughing. And I'm like, but it's the way you say it and it's your facial expressions and da 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 da. So I was getting that a lot.
Mm,
And so I thought, oh, maybe I should just try doing some stand-up then.
yeah. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what I did.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's really good. So really you've sort of inspired yourself to do it, you know?
I
Take
guess so.
Yeah, yeah. And I have to say I always think I say this all the time to stand-ups. I think it's such a brave thing to do, to stand
It is
up
brave.
in a room in front of people you don't know to make them laugh because obviously they've gone there with the expectation that they're gonna laugh.
Yes.
Um, and I think it's that side of it that I find fascinating about comedians. So,
Yeah.
but have you seen your style develop, especially like sort of before and now? Has it developed?
Mm.
Or you just authentically you all the time from
Yeah,
then
I
and
feel I
now?
feel like I'm just being me. So at
Yeah.
that time when I was 30 plus, I was just being me, the insecure me. But
Mm.
I was more insecure then, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like because I drank, it kind
Mm.
of gave me that courage. And so I was
Yeah.
quite bolshy. But now, as I say, obviously without the drink, I can be bolshy, I can be sexy, I can be serious, I can be silly, I can be whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll just bring whatever I feel onto the stage.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
middle age does that for you, really, don't you? I know I
Hmm.
felt far more confident the older I've got, and especially hitting 50. It was like, wow,
Oh,
I can actually do anything because I've got all this life skill behind me.
yes,
And that's sort
yes,
of coming across with you, if I'm honest with you. So what
yeah.
have you been doing this year so far? What have you done to sort of get yourself back into it?
So I have been applying to open mic nights, and I was also quite bolshy, and I just contacted UK Black Comedy
Yeah.
and just said, "This is who I am. This is what I used to do. I want a slot at the Backyard Comedy Club." And
And yeah.
I got a slot on the 1st of June.
Yeah.
And it was open mic, so I was only supposed to have like 5 minutes.
Mm,
But the host, which was Christopher Savage, and he works alongside Shane Brown,
mm.
said, "Oh, do more than 5 minutes. Got time. You can do more than 5 minutes."
Oh,
So I did a bit
fantastic.
extra. So I did a bit extra.
Yeah.
So it was nice. That was I think that was probably the most nerve-wracking one
Mm,
because I knew the Backyard Comedy Club is quite popular.
yeah.
But yeah, but it was still great. It was, and I
Yeah.
had a great time, and I was behind the scenes with other comedians like Slim, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was great. It was great. I
Oh,
had fun.
and I suppose you put a little bit of pressure on yourself as well because you'd approached them and said, I want to do
Yes,
this. Yeah.
yes,
But you nailed it and you did it. And,
yeah,
if you don't
yeah,
ask, you don't get. And that's my motto growing up. I say
I,
growing up.
ex
I still feel like I'm growing up, but
still exactly. And as you said about being 50, I feel like it is a time of life where, especially as women, it's like I don't give a,
yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah,
and
no,
we just go for
definitely.
it.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. You got nothing to lose. I feel like you've got nothing to lose. That's
hmm.
my, take on life at the moment. If I don't
Yeah.
ask, if all they can say is no,
No,
then I can deal with that.
I
You
can
know?
deal with no's.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
But they
take it
didn't. They said
personally.
yes, which is
Yeah,
great, which is
yes,
brilliant for you.
yes.
And what about going forward for the rest of the year? If you've got anything lined up, or you're still going to just get your open mics, build up your reputation, and your set?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple more open mics, but I do feel like I should um be paid for my skill.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna see where that takes me. I'm gonna start doing some research into where else
Yeah.
I can, you know, collaborate perhaps and
Yeah.
just put more stuff online
Mm.
and yeah, just keep pushing, keep plugging along.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Definitely, definitely. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. These are all just very, short interviews that I do with people
yeah,
because I think it's a great way of plugging you.
thank
So
you.
obviously, if anybody wants to come and see you or see you on socials, how can they find you, Angel?
So on socials, my creative persona is Alchemic Angel, which is ALKHEMIC Angel.
Right.
So
Okay.
and so they will be able to find me on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. So people can come and check you out. And where's your the next big place that you would love to approach and say, have me on stage? What would you love? Let's give that a plug now, and I'll hashtag
Right.
them.
What would I love? I get Hackney Empire.
Really? Right. Okay. Hackney Empire. Yeah, why
But they
not?
still do gigs there, I'm sure,
I'm
don't
pretty
they?
sure they do. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I've seen them there.
Because you know what? That was the first place that I actually did my first ever open mic back
Really?
then. It
Oh,
was it was a part of the Hackney Empire. It was the
mm,
Bullion Theatre, which is
yeah.
a smaller part, but it was there that I did it, yeah. So it'll be nice to go back to where it all started.
Yeah, confident and yeah, with everything behind you, with everything to
Mm,
gain. Brilliant.
mm.
Angel, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. It's been an
Oh,
absolute treat to chat with you this evening, and I wish you all the very best. And keep in touch. Let us know because then we'll get you back on. And we go,
yes,
right,
thank you
yeah, what are
so
you doing
much.
now?
And see what I'm doing now. Yes, thank you so
Yeah,
much. I really appreciate it. And it was lovely
no,
to meet
that's all
you.
right. And you.
Thank
And
you. All right.
obviously, hopefully we'll catch up soon. All right,
Yes.
Angel.
All
All
right
the
now.
very best to
Thank
you.
you.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.